Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Warstorm here. Just talking with y'all guys a bit, explaining why my video content won't be up to par at the normal level for the next few weeks. My laptop charger broke the other day. So here's like all that's basically left of the top. So I can't even like charge my laptop right now. So unfortunately, I won't be able to do the same video uploads quality as I normally do. So I'm doing this type of thing, or we'll be doing some kind of deck profiles over the next few weeks, but you won't have your normal level of thumbnail content in like high quality, stuff as usual. So, that's why it is what it is. So anyway, guys, but I'm still going to try to bring you guys a little bit of video content here and there, what I can, because I'd rather have something than nothing. So recently I was doing a little bit of checking on the secondary market, and I saw that Igknight Reload is going up to $20 last time I checked in a few different places. I used to do a lot of market watch videos quite a while back, but now I'm doing a lot of sorry about that. I'm doing a little bit of different stuff, but this card kind of stood out to me because normally cards don't jump from $5 to $20 overnight like this card did. Like it went up like that. So if you don't know what Igknight Reload does, it's an ultra rare that came out in Dimensions of Chaos, I believe. It is a quick play spell card that reads reveal any number of pillow monsters from your hand, shuffle them into the deck, then draw cards from your deck plus one of what you shuffled into the deck. So sort of like a Moray of Greed, but you cannot draw other cards after the card resolves. So you can't chain Igknight Reload and chain, for example, like Chicken Game or Upstart Goblin or Royal Magical Library. So on its face value, if you're playing this in Ignites, it's not very good with Magical Library, but I digress. The main thing, and the other last line attacks in obligatory, you can only use this one per turn. This card really didn't see a ton of play in a lot of Pendulum decks. In the Mages and Pals deck that's been wrecking the OCG, doesn't see play at all. Mostly because the deck is already hella consistent. Odd Eyes Magicians, not really necessary, but you might say, okay, well, those are the top decks. What other deck would I be playing this in? More pure variant of Magispector definitely likes this card, because the biggest problem with Magispector was that, the Perform Mages, or the without the Perform Mages, if you don't have those, or you don't have the magicians to back them up, typically you're going to have a lot of problems with consistency, and that's where Igknight Reload comes in. If you don't open with Raccoon or the Field Spell, and maybe Luster, you're kind of in a lot of trouble. So that's kind of where this Igknight Reload card comes in. Now as an Igknight player myself, I'm building a deck. Speaking of that, deck profile on the way for you guys sometime when I do get the rest of the cards. I've already gotten most of them. One of those cards just happens to be an Igknight Reload. But as an Igknight player, I find that in the deck itself, it is searchable via Ignition, Phoenix, the Field Spell. The thing I have with this card is most of the time with Ignites, you want to be popping them away to the extra deck, do your searching. You don't want to be shuffling them back in the deck. And if you want to do that, the best method to do that is Pot of Riches, to shuffle them from the graveyard into the deck, because with Ignites you're going to be exceeding a lot anyways. So typically Pot of Riches does the job a little bit better than Reload. I'm going to test a little bit of both and get back to you guys, but I do think the card is not that great in Ignites, but I think maybe it's a one-of, it's searchable via Phoenix, so why not? So in summary, and the last question I obviously asked, well, why does this happen, and is the card worth the value? Why this typically happens is there's two reasons. It's going up simply because it's going up, but I think there's no hype around this card, so it's simply someone's going in, cleaning out the supply, and then reposting the card at higher card values. It's a known method within a lot of different markets in terms of scalping. You see this with The Force Awakens, where guys went in and broke Fandango by buying up tickets because they were scalping them, trying to just resell them for higher values. You see this in a lot of different markets. Yu-Gi-Oh card market, I think the best examples I remember was the first one was Laval Chain, after YCS Charlton went up to $100 because the guy topped with Volcanics, or he didn't top, he went undefeated in Swiss, something like that. But Laval Chain went up to $100 for a couple days, dropped down about $60, and it had always been about a $40 card because it was from a out of print set. I think it was International 7A. Then it got reprinted in Premium Gold, just like all the expensive stuff does. And then Apex Avion is another card I remember, like, it was completely cleaned out. People went in and just cleaned it out. It was like a $10 card, and then it went up to $20 overnight. And that's typical, and this is typical, this is the best way I think. Now the last question is, is this card worth the price? Definitely not. I would say if you have them, this is probably the optimal time to just go ahead and get rid of them while they're expensive, because there's not any decks that really play the card. Even Magispectors aren't really being played as a pure variant. They're being played with the Clowns, they're being played with the Magicians. From this point on, like, pure Magispectors probably aren't going to be played at all. And as far as Cleese, Cleese is another deck that can run Reload and run it pretty efficiently. Cleese are pretty much dead with Scout at 1, so it's kind of like, in summary, I don't think the card is definitely worth the $15 to $20 price tag. It is on a lot of different websites, but nevertheless, if you have them, you can probably wait a little while longer to see how much higher it goes up, but now's probably the optimal time to go ahead and get rid of it. So anyway, guys, as always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching my video today. Really appreciate when you guys watch my videos. Stay tuned for more videos in the future, like the Igknight deck profiles. And anyway, guys, as always, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. It's Warstorm, signing out.